Hey friends, hey Jonathan. Beetlejuice Beetlejuice dropped its official trailer a few days ago, and if I had to describe the trailer in one word, it would be green. Like seriously, look how pronounced the greens are in most of these shots. Luckily though, I love Ireland. They gave us Cillian Murphy, Barry Keoghan, and the Bacon Rasher. Amen. But anyways, after watching the Beetlejuice Beetlejuice trailer, I think the most obvious question everyone has on their mind is, will it be good? And to be honest, when I first watched the trailer, which was at midnight by the way, I don't know why important pieces of news keep getting posted just as I'm about to go to sleep. My initial reaction was a bit neutral, but the more I thought about the concept of the movie, the more intrigued I got, because they asked a very fascinating question in the trailer. The living and the dead, can they coexist? And my initial thought was, of course, anyone can coexist with anyone. And technically, we are coexisting with the dead because there are dead bodies in graveyards and such. But the more I thought about this question, the more complicated it got. Because if dead people did coexist with the living, then what would their motivations even be for continuing to live? Dead people don't really have any needs. At least I don't think they do. So what's stopping them from causing a rampage, you know? What's stopping them from talking loudly in a library? Imagine the sheer horror that would bring. So the more I thought about this question, and the more excited I got for Beetlejuice Beetlejuice, because they seem to have an answer for that question. But of course, that's not the only reason to go see Beetlejuice Beetlejuice in September. Getting to see Willem Dafoe in a freak costume will also be pretty fun. He's in his freak era, and even though I don't really like freaky things, I am surprisingly enjoying it so far. In his next role, he'll just be a topless head. Having Jenna Ortega in this is also a lovely treat. Her acting is great and her heart is so full of compassion and love. So seeing her acting alongside the likes of Winona Ryder and Michael Keaton will be very fun. Jenna described her character Astrid Dietz in an interview as weird but in a different way and not in the same way you'd assume. So I'm looking forward to seeing what that actually means during the film. Also having Tim Burton, Alfred Gu, and Miles Miller, who all worked on Wednesday together, working together again on this project is very reassuring. They did an incredible job with Wednesday, and I can already see elements of Wednesday in this film, such as the familiarly gorgeous lighting and cinematography. Wednesday also takes place in Vermont and deals with the supernatural, so there's a lot of similarities for sure. Let's set aside some time to admire the excellent costume designs and makeup for Beetlejuice Beetlejuice as well, which looks excellently done. Winona Ryder and Michael Keaton's outfits look great, and Beetlejuice looks as decrepit as ever. The dead look very dead, and I'm glad to know that even in the afterlife, fashion still prevails. And yeah, I love how all in they went on their aesthetic and committed to it. Great things have been said about Beetlejuice Beetlejuice from the cast and crew themselves, like how it was some of the most fun they've ever had on a set, and how surprisingly emotional it was, and how it'll do a lot for the film industry. So that gives me a lot of excitement and hope for this film. So with all this evidence, we can surely come to the conclusion that Beetlejuice Beetlejuice will in fact be good, right? Maybe, but there are some concerns that people have raised about this film, such as the somewhat unpolished looking special and visual effects, and how the sequel could be nothing more than soulless nostalgia bait. Some people think it looks too campy and silly, and that Catherine O'Hara's hair looks way too red, damn it. All these opinions are valid of course, but I'd say these are the minority of the people. Most people seem to be open to this film and are willing to give it a chance. I'm personally interested to see how Beetlejuice Beetlejuice will balance its silly and comedic tones with its darker and more emotional beats. It's not uncommon for comedies to take on heavy, profound topics. A movie like The Truman Show explores subjects like commercialism, the power of media, and the search for truth. Harold and Maude, one of my favorite comedy movies ever, revolves around a man obsessed with death and sees him constantly harming himself in very creative ways throughout the film. So those comedy films were able to strike a balance between its contrasting tones, so I hope Beetlejuice Beetlejuice is able to do the same as well. A few more things about Beetlejuice Beetlejuice though. I'm very invested in Willem Dafoe and Monica Bellucci's characters, and I'm intrigued to see what they get up to in the film. Willem Dafoe is apparently playing a dead detective slash B-movie action star named Wolf Jackson, who's searching for Beetlejuice. I have no idea what that entails, but I'm guessing Beetlejuice caused some damage in his realm, and Willem Dafoe is now trying to catch him. Monica Bellucci's character, Dolores, is also trying to find Beetlejuice, and she's apparently Beetlejuice's wife, and she's missing her ring finger in this shot, so I'm guessing they're having some marriage complications. Clearly, Beetlejuice has upset some people, so he must have done something atrocious, like not subscribing to this channel. Also, elephant in the room, Jenna Ortega seems to die halfway through the film, as evidenced by her sunken eyes and dark eye bags, and also in this shot where she's being escorted to a train platform with the destinations, pearly gates, and the great beyond. So, seems pretty dead to me. She might not be fully dead though, she could be in limbo and Winona might be trying to save her before she fully transitions to the other side. That's my guess. So just to summarize everything, I personally think that Beetlejuice Beetlejuice will be a good film that deals with some rather interesting concepts and questions like can the living and the dead coexist? They have a solid roster of actors and I think the cinematography, costume design, and makeup all look great. And given some time, I think they can polish up the special and visual effects. And with that, the main subject of this video comes to a close, and now I'd just like to talk about some other things regarding Beetlejuice Beetlejuice that I found pretty fun, starting off with Michael Keaton. It's a joy to witness Michael Keaton's consistent enthusiasm for Beetlejuice, and I'm glad he finally got to play Beetlejuice again after many years. I was surprised to learn this, but Michael Keaton is 72 years old. He was born in 1951 on the 5th of September, and wouldn't you know it, Beetlejuice Beetlejuice is releasing on the 6th of September. Coincidence? Probably. But if this was intentional and was meant as a tribute to Michael Keaton's dedication to the Beetlejuice character, then that's very sweet. In an interview with Empire, Michael Keaton said that Beetlejuice is the most effing fun you can have working, and that there was a lot of making stuff up and improvising and riffing, with people hand-making stuff and creating things with their own hands. So you heard it from Beetlejuice himself, there's gonna be a lot of shenanigans going on. I touched on this earlier on in the video, but I wanted to talk again about just how unique the makeup and costume design is in this movie, especially for Willem Dafoe's character. I find his character design to be strikingly unique. His makeup looks so intentionally unrealistic, yet realistic at the same time. It's such an interesting effect, and I hope you get to see a good amount of him in the Beetlejuice Beetlejuice film. I also want to speculate about the estimated budget for Beetlejuice Beetlejuice, because at the time of recording, that information isn't publicly available. So if we take a look at a movie like Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, which came out this year and also deals with the supernatural, that was an almost 2-hour-long movie that had a budget of around 100 million US dollars. The original Beetlejuice movie had a runtime of about an hour and 30 minutes, with a budget of around $15 million. So I speculate that Beetlejuice Beetlejuice will have a similar runtime of about an hour and 30 minutes, probably slightly longer, with a budget of around $75 to $90 million. That's my guess. Feel free to leave your own assumptions on the budget in the comments below. I hope this movie does well, because I want to see Jenna Ortega succeed in everything that she does, and I also want to support the people who made Wednesday, because Wednesday is an incredibly well-crafted show that I think deserves a little more appreciation, so supporting their other work feels right to me. I'm also glad that Vermont is being featured more in movies and shows. I've always wanted to visit Vermont and New Hampshire ever since I was a teenager, and I think it's just an incredible backdrop for stories to take place in, so I'm glad filmmakers like Tim Burton are utilizing places like Vermont more. Maybe he can feature New Hampshire next in his next project? Only time will tell. Thank you for watching, my friends. What are your thoughts on Beetlejuice Beetlejuice? Do you think it'll be an interesting movie? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you once again for watching, and have a wonderful day.